Welcome, Tara. It's a pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm so excited to be with you and your beautiful group today.
I am excited about our conversation as well, because we are going to be talking about something hugely relevant to every member of this group, which is 3 reasons why you aren't seeing the success in your group that you want.
Yes, and excited to get into the topic, and hopefully, I hope your group learns something. That's my hope anyway.
They will. We are going to get into the topic that we have chosen for today, but I always like to start with understanding who our guest is. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us, what is your story?
Okay, so my story, going back to when I kind of started, it started around 2009. I was married, I was living in Greece, I've got 3 daughters, and I was in a really unhappy marriage, and I kind of had a bit of a breakdown. I was on my own and I was just sobbing my heart out alone in the kitchen, and I had a hug from the universe. So I had this feeling of warmth all around my body, and it wasn't just like a tightness, but it was a feeling of being safe, secure, loved. And I knew that whatever I wanted to achieve, I was supported 100%, which was like a really weird feeling. And that set me off on my journey of exploration into the law of attraction and the universe and energies. So that started me off, and then I studied to be a law of attraction practitioner with Dr. Joe Vitale, who was in The Secret. I studied to be a Robbins Madanis coach as well, and all of this sort of culminated in who I am now. So in my coaching business as it stands today, which is quite predominantly to do with law of attraction and energetics in the universe. And it's I work with business owners or business women, because they're the people that I resonate with the most. And I feel as women, we need to support each other, because we're quite a rare species.
Yes, I agree. Yes. So that's how you came into coaching.
Yes. Yeah, that's how it got me started. So what I was learning as I was on my journey and researching and going quite into depth in it, I was just like, why don't people know more about this? Where are the people that are explaining this? Because when I hear people talking about it, sometimes it gets really confusing. I'm like, no, it's not that difficult. You've got to make it simple. And I just found that, because I've been a teacher for many years, I think I found that really helped me to be able to simplify things and break it down so that you can understand it and implement it in a much easier and simpler way. So that's how I became the coach.
Wow. So fascinating how our entire lives can change at the back of an unpleasant event.
Yes. I think often that the universe gives us signs, little nudges, and if we don't listen, it gives us a massive wake up, got a big slap in the face. Exactly. And that can be, ill health. It can be no money. It can be feeling like you've hit rock bottom. But it's always something that makes you say, okay, now I've got to stop and wake up and listen to what's happening and really evaluate. Because I sort of thought to myself, there has to be more to life than this. There has to be something that gets me excited, that fills me with life and makes me smile, because I was so unhappy. And I just thought, well, I'm married, I have to deal with it. And I thought, when I'd finished this kind of experience, I was like, no, I don't. My life is too short to just sit there and put up with what I don't want to be putting up with. So yeah, I think more people need to take that step as well and trust that they're always supported in the universe, always. I think we get the world is full of paranoia. We're always worried about something, or worried that people are conspiring against us, when we should be concentrating more on pronoia, which is the belief that the whole world is supporting us and wants us to succeed.
So beautiful, so beautiful. I want to share with you that we have a live audience building up. So we have Jill, who has joined us from Wales, and we also have Birdie, who has joined us from Wales.
Hi.
Welcome, Jill. Welcome, Birdie. Hello.
Lovely to meet you, ladies. Well, not face to face, but kind of.
Well, it's as good as, well, this is as good as it gets in our current world.
Yeah, but it's so great that we can connect and we don't have to physically move ourselves to meet people from all over the UK. It's great. It's amazing technology.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I think that's the most beautiful aspect of technology, bringing people together, and you don't have to be physically present to be able to have that conversation and have that connection.
Yeah, and it's another slap from the universe. I mean, I know, so for example, COVID, it was like the universe going, right, boom, now look at what you can actually do, but without leaving home type of thing. You know, you can reach people all over the world and you've not really thought about it before, because, you know, we've used Zoom in the past, but not to the extent we used it in lockdown.
Yes.
And it was a great wake-up call to think, actually, I can connect with people all over the world.
Yeah.
And that's just phenomenal stuff.
Yes, it's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Yeah. What a beautiful story you have, Tara. What a beautiful story. Yeah.
Thank you. I didn't think I had a beautiful story when I was going through it, but now I do.
Now you do.
Yeah. You know, if things are really like rock bottom, you just got to think to yourself, this is the start of my TED Talk.
Yes. 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 That's true. Yeah. All right. So your story leads us beautifully into the topic that we have chosen for today, which is 3 reasons why you aren't seeing the success you want in your business. So say more.
Say more, right? So yes, 3 reasons. These are the 3 main reasons that I found in my own life and working with clients, that when we've overcome these 3 reasons, that's when they've started to flourish and shine in their businesses or in their work life as well. Because I've had some clients who aren't necessarily entrepreneurial based or mindset, but they want to promote themselves and get further in their businesses. So the first one is your money story. Now, we all have a money story, and you know how your beliefs and your ideas are shaped when you're growing up. Your money story tends to be cemented when you're sort of like your late teens, which is usually the time that you're a student and you're struggling and you don't have a lot of money and you're thinking, my God, how am I going to get out of this debt? Especially now that you have to pay for your degrees. I mean, I was lucky enough to have a degree at the time when it was still free. But that's when your money story seems to kind of be cemented. And you go through a period of struggling. You know, I mean, I know from myself, my personal experience, I found it really hard to make money in business. I struggled. No matter what I did, nothing worked. I was always living from month to month and not seeing the rewards, or, you know, from the work that I was putting into it. And it wasn't until I sort of sat down and I thought, well, I'm not bad at what I do. So what is it that's stopping the money from coming towards me? And I invested in a money coach because I knew I had to have, there was some sort of mindset blockage that I had to move over. So I invested in a money coach, and that's when I started to look at how I approached money and what my story about money was. Because, you know, money is energy, and we spend most of our life fearing that energy. So we're not, it's not that you're afraid of money, but you're afraid of not having enough. You're looking in your bank and you're afraid that it's not going to cover the bills, or fear that you won't, that if you've got some, it's going to go. You know, when you've got that mindset, sometimes you have extra money at the end of the month in your bank, and then because you're so scared that it's going to go, you end up with, you need a new tire or a new battery for your car, or there's a leak in the house and you have to pay, and the money disappears. So you're justifying, yes, you see, I was right to be scared of it. So if we have that kind of fear of money, that's when we struggle to keep it, or when we struggle to attract it. So it's fear of it not being enough, and it leads to a lack or a scarcity mindset, that there's not enough money, that there's not enough clients to bring me money. And that's a really big thing in your business when you start to worry about things like that. One of the things that I found really helpful, which, maybe some of the ladies in your group might benefit from, is I started to keep a track of manifested money. So not necessarily money that I was expecting, but money that seems to appear. And if you look back and it could be money that you find in the sofa, it could be vouchers or discounts, somebody paying for dinner. Maybe you get an unexpected or repeat client that you weren't planning on having. It could be, you find an old wallet, or you put a jacket on at the end of, the next season, and there's money in your wallet in there, kind of thing. All this is manifested money that appears to you without you knowing that it's going to be there. And I started tracking mine. And when I looked back, I'd manifested like £50,000, and I hadn't registered that I'd had that money. But it came to me, people pay for dinner, or, paying for something for me, or a tax rebate or something like that. And when you do that, you realize how much money actually comes into your life without you working hard for it. And that opens up your mindset to, well, actually, there's more money than I thought. There's more money available, and money comes to me a lot more easily than I had originally anticipated. So it's a great tool to sort of track back all the money that you've had come to you without actually working for it.
Can I ask something?
Yeah.
Are you really good with your accounts?
No, I'm terrible.
And yet you managed to find out.
Yeah, because I kept track of the manifested money. So it was nothing to do with my business, really. I did, if I had a new client come in that was unexpected, I put that in there. But this was all just things that had accumulated. Like I was going through a drawer and I found like €50 that I'd forgotten I had. I was like, oh my God, and I had thought maybe I didn't have any money in my purse, type of thing.
Yeah.
So it's money that comes to you that you don't realize. And it does take some tracking. You've got to keep up on it. But when you look back at it, you're like, wow, I didn't realize that I was that wealthy.
Yeah. You remind me of something that happened yesterday. There was a call that I received from somebody I know.
Yeah.
And she's somebody who cooks and sells food. So we buy food and snacks from her occasionally. And yesterday she called up out of blue and she said, oh, I've cooked so-and-so thing. Do you want some? And that wasn't in plan. And I said, yes, please. So in my head, I was thinking that when I said yes, because I'm a client, I'm buying that food from her. But actually, she was gifting it to me. So the food got delivered. In fact, I went ahead and said, oh, yes, please. If you have enough, can you send me 2 portions? Because I was buying. Yes. In my head. That's what I was thinking.
So and you manifested, I don't know, £20 worth of food. Yeah. It was gifted. It was a manifestation of money but you weren't paying out.
Yeah.
But if you had been, so you saved that. So that was manifested money for you.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And I was feeling lazy about cooking. I was not in a mood to cook. And now I had 2 delicious meals of something that I don't cook myself. I mean, I don't cook that dish. So yeah, I was really happy, really happy.
Yeah, perfect. So you can start that as your first entry in your manifested money spreadsheet.
Yes. I've never taken an account of the money that comes in like this, and probably never given it enough credit. But I can see how easy it is to start building that spreadsheet that you are talking about, manifested money.
Yeah, when you go and you can use things like your nectar points in Sainsbury's. You've just saved, I don't know, £7.50.
Yeah,
it's manifested money.
Yeah.
And your vouchers, or somebody gives you like my daughter might say, come on, let's go out for dinner, Mum, I'm paying. So it all builds up, but you don't register it as a wealth, as money that's gifted to you, because it's not physical in your hand.
Yeah.
But it's still manifested money.
Yeah.
And it's a manifested energy that's coming to you. And if you appreciate that, then you can attract more physical hard cash into your business and into your life.
That makes so much sense. That makes so much sense. Jill here is saying, I have manifested loads.
Jill, what did you manifest? Have you ever
Jill,
kept track of it? Have you?
Jill, tell us, please. What have you manifested?
Be interesting to know if it's, if it's a large sum like mine was. I was just like, oh my goodness. When you're going through it, you don't look at it or realize, but looking back, you're like, crikey,
Yeah.
I'm blessed. I'm really blessed.
Yeah. Yeah, we visit our parents every year. They live in India, and when we would go, they would say, oh, let's go shopping, let me buy you a new dress, and we'll get new dresses, and we'll get some money in cash, or a lot of money in cash. And yes, I'm able to look back at all those things now after what you have said, and really feel a bit more grateful than I have always been, because I realized that it was all manifested money because somebody gave it to me.
Yes. Yeah, it was just the universe brought it into your reality. And yeah, we take these things for granted sometimes, or we just overlook them and don't think about them.
Yeah.
But it's all given to you that you just don't understand at the time.
Yeah. Finally, I've got it.
Go on then.
So that's the first thing you said. Why people don't get the results they want in their business.
Yes. Sorry, I thought you were talking, you got Jill's reply. That's what I was saying. Go on.
No. I'll read out when it comes in.
Okay. So the second part that I was thinking was your beliefs. And it's not necessarily just limiting beliefs, but your beliefs around how easy or difficult it is to be successful in your business. So it's not necessarily limiting belief that I can't do it, but if you go into your business or your work thinking that it's going to be hard, then that's the experience that you have, because you're focusing on something. So whatever you're focusing on is what materializes in your world and in your experience. So if you think, for example, let's say you have a stain on your carpet. If you go into your living room's beautiful and you've got a brand new sofa and new pictures and everything looks really great. If you're not focusing on how great that is, but you've got a stain on your carpet and you're focusing just on that, that's all you can see. And that consumes you. Every time you go into the living room, you just look at that one stain on the carpet. So it's the same in your business. If you're focusing on how difficult it is to make money or how difficult it is to find clients, you're not looking at the things that are coming into your sphere that could be potential clients, for example, because you're ignoring them. You're focused only on the difficulty. And, I've again experienced this and really suffered from it, because I was thinking it's so hard, because people used to say to me, it's really hard to make money in your own business. It's really difficult being an entrepreneur. You never make any money in the first year. And I had that in my mindset and thinking, oh my God, yeah, it is really difficult. And even when it wasn't, I was making sure that it was, to prove to myself that I was right, because I don't want to be wrong. I want to prove myself right. So I'm thinking it's difficult. So I'm making sure that it is. Like I had one client last year, and she was desperate to get a job in a school teaching. And she was sure that it was really hard because English wasn't her first language. And she was sure that other people seemed to be getting jobs, and it was because she was foreign or she wasn't good enough. And she was manifesting this. And we really had to break down why she felt unworthy of this and what set her apart from everybody else. Why was she not good enough when she had, for example, exactly the same training? And when we got through that, and she shifted her mindset about the difficulty of finding her dream job, within a week she'd got an offer. And it wasn't even an offer of an existing job. She'd gone for an interview, and the school were like, you're not suitable for the job that you went for, but we've got this in mind. We think this would be really good for you. The job doesn't exist yet. It's going to start. We're going to make it start in January, but we want you right now in September. We want to keep you. So she was given this job that was her dream job that she wasn't even applying for. once she accepted the fact that it's not difficult, when she allowed herself to believe that it was easy. And I think that's the thing that a lot of us come up against. We have these people telling us things and we take them on board without proving or allowing ourselves to find the proof of that being correct in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my story as well. If it isn't hard, it's not worthy enough.
Yes, I have to work really hard. Because if it's too easy, there's something wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not doing something right, or there's something dodgy going on here. It shouldn't be this easy. But when, as an entrepreneur, when you go into your business, it's not as though, you've been to university, you've got the degree, you've got the job, you've got the promotion, you're going up the ladder. When you start your own business, it can be something completely different. My degree wasn't in law of attraction and universal energies and in entrepreneurial business. It's not a degree that exists, but it's something I'm really passionate about. So if you're passionate about it, you need to do it, and it's going to feel easy. If I suddenly decided I want to be a singer, I'm terrible at singing, so it would be really hard for me. But then I look at other people and it's their gift. They just do it so effortlessly. And artists as well, they do things and I'm like, wow, that would be really hard for me. But they find it easy. And then the more you find it easy, the less you want to charge as well, because you think, oh, it's so easy for me. I feel bad charging for it, don't I? I shouldn't have to charge for it because this is my gift and I want to share it with everybody. And we put that on ourselves as well. So we have certain beliefs about the ease and the difficulty of being in business and working with people.
This is so powerful. Because all of us have those beliefs.
Yeah, we do. And we don't understand that we're we're self-imposing something on ourselves. We just think it's got to be hard because that's how we're trained. We're trained to think that things that are good are hard work.
Yeah.
Things that are easy aren't worthy of something. They don't have value if it's easy.
Yeah.
If you find something effortless, then you shouldn't be doing that. If you're very good at tennis and you find it easy, you need to choose something else that's going to push you and be really hard. But that's not the case. You need to improve your skill and then you can flourish more. And it does get harder the more you learn, I guess, because you're pushing your boundaries. But to start with, going into it with the mindset of this is going to be really hard. And if it's easy, then I should quit and do something else because it's not hard enough, which means it's not good, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. I've got to work hard to earn that money. And that's what makes it worthier. That was my story.
Yeah, exactly. But you have your talent, you have your gifts, and sharing those can feel easy to you, but they're so valuable to the people that you're working with. They get so much from it that, they want to pay for it because it's like, if you hadn't gifted me with your knowledge, I'd still be in the place I was 6 months ago.
Absolutely. So the first thing is money story. The second thing is beliefs, especially with regards to how easy or difficult something is. What's the third thing?
Energy. So we have the universe is made up of energy. So everything has a different energetic level, different vibration. And for example, happiness and sadness are different vibrations. Happiness is quite high energy and sadness is a low one. And we attract the same energy back. So you can find, for example, people who are really sad tend to hang around with other people who feed that energy and are sad as well. And those people that are really happy wouldn't be hanging out with the people that are sad because they attract a different crowd. And it's the same in your business. So if you're in your business and you have your beliefs around money, you've got your money story, and you've got your beliefs that business is hard, you're lowering your body's vibrational energy, and you're going to attract clients that resonate with that, or not attract any clients. So if you're attracting clients who are a lower vibrational energy, you'll find that they're quite difficult to work with. They might complain quite a lot. It's quite a hurdle to get them, to move them forward, because they kind of like being in that energy. You know, when your body feels an energy regularly, it becomes addicted to it. So your body's craving situations and experiences that's going to give it that feeling. You know, if you've been through a period of sadness and somebody say, oh, come on, let's go out for a coffee or something, and they're really happy, if you've been used to feeling sad, you want to get away and you want to go off and be with people who don't raise your vibration, because your body's craving that feeling. It's a bit like a lock and a key. So for example, your cell's like a lock, and the key is the emotion. If the lock is used to feeling a happy emotion, the shape of the lock changes, and it doesn't like to accept the sadness shaped key. And it's the same way around. So if you're used to feeling sad, your body's seeking out that emotional key all the time. So you have to try and raise your vibrational energy to attract clients that are, again, the word easy to work with.
Yeah.
But they're you know, you feel it's a blessing to be with them, and you enjoy your conversations and working with them because you're the same vibrational energy. And as I said about the word pronoia, you know, believing that the universe is supporting you and people want you to succeed. Like, for example, in this group, people want you to succeed. They're not out to stab you in the back. They don't enjoy seeing you fail. So it's a group that embodies pronoia because they're all supporting each other. And there are other people in the world who are there to support you as well. And to see you succeed is going to make them happy. You know, I had a client call yesterday, and when she came on the call, she was really quiet when she first came on the call, and she started crying, and she was going, her words, "I'm shit at my job. I can't do it. I'm rubbish. I don't know why I'm doing this." And she was going on and on. And by the time we'd finished the call, we'd shifted her focus from things that had gone not very well in the past month to focusing on the wins. You know, how much revenue she'd made and the fun she'd had with the people she worked with. And just shifting that changed the vibrational energy in her body. And she went out for a completely different day. If she'd stayed in that negative energy in the morning, the rest of her day would have continued with that, because she'd have been looking for things to keep her feeling that way. But by changing it, she went out and she had a great day because she shifted her energy. She met people she had better interactions with people, and she helped them feel better as well.
Yeah, that makes so much sense. Money, story, beliefs, and energy, because everything is energy.
It is. And we are attracted to the same energies. You know, when you go into a room and people that have been in there before have had maybe they'd had an argument, or, you know, they've not been in a great energetic vibe, let's say, you can feel it when you go in there. You know, if you walk into two people talking, you automatically know whether it's a good or a bad conversation without actually hearing it. You can feel their energy, and that energy, if it's quite aggressive, can make you turn back out of the room and go, I'll be back later. I'll speak to you later.
Yeah.
Not going to interrupt right now. You're having a bit of a session.
Yes. Yeah, we have all experienced it, haven't we?
Yeah, of course we have. We just don't always take notice of it, but we have to be conscious about our energy, because the energy that we put out determines the clients that we attract, and it determines the experiences and opportunities that come our way that match that energy. So it's it's important to be aware of other people's energy and of your own, and so that the energy that you're giving other people and what they perceive of you through that energy as well.
Yeah. So we have looked at 3 reasons why we don't get the results we desire in our business. How about we now look at what are some of the things we can do about each of those to start helping ourselves and to start moving ahead? So shall we start with the money story?
Yeah, so the money story. So as we said, one of the things you can do is looking at your manifested money. So keeping a track of money that comes to you effortlessly. Maybe it's somebody buying you dinner or a coffee. Maybe it's a voucher that you use at the supermarket or a discount. It could be gifts or unexpected tax rebate or an unexpected client, all sorts of different things that come to you that have a monetary value. So that's your manifested money. And by keeping a track of that, that helps you to broaden your mindset about the amount of available money there is out there. Because like I say, when I looked back at mine, I'd manifested like 50,000 and I hadn't realized at the time just the value that I was getting. So that's a great way to sort of change your money story from a lack and scarcity to an abundance mindset, and realizing that there's actually more money available in the world. If everybody had millions of pounds each, there would still be a surplus of money. We just sometimes think that, this is the amount that we've got. This is all we can afford, or this is all we can earn, because there isn't enough money. People don't have money. There's so much money out there. We just don't consciously think about it or recognize that it's there.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, so manifested money. Is there anything else you would recommend we start doing to get a hold of our money story?
You can, so people use visualizations quite a lot, and that's visualizing yourself in the future and actually already having manifested, for example, money in your business.
Yeah.
Sometimes people find that a little bit harder, because when they look at their bank balance and it says 0 and they're trying to visualize themselves as, earning £2 million, that leap can be quite difficult.
Yeah.
If you've got a good imagination, or you're quite good at putting yourself in a quiet state where you can focus on having achieved that and really get into the feeling of having it, because it's not enough to think it or affirm it or meditate on it. The thing that drives the biggest force in the universe is your emotions, or your energy, as we talked about in number 3. So if you can get into that energetic state of being excited, of having that, then that's going to shift it as well, because you're going to you're training yourself to believe that there's more money. Our subconscious controls a lot of what we do, and it does it on repetition. So it sees something and it says, oh, well, Tara normally does it this way, so let's push that and we'll do that. But the conscious can feed it. So the more that you're feeding it images that are new, that involve being more abundant, the more the subconscious is thinking, okay, well, that's possible then, because it doesn't know the difference between reality and imagination. So your subconscious is thinking, okay, well, that's possible then. As I said about proving to yourself, if you think it's hard, you're going to prove to yourself that it's hard. If you're thinking that there's a lot of money out there and you are abundant, your subconscious is thinking, okay, let's find ways to prove that's true. Let's show Tara that she's right again, because she has to be right. And it'll find opportunities and bring opportunities to you that will bring more abundance and shift your money mindset. As you see more abundance appearing, then obviously, your visualizations become a little bit easier, because you can see you're going on the steps as well.
Yeah. And that is why being grateful helps so much, because the focus comes off the lack.
Yes.
And we start focusing on what is working and what is good in our life.
Yep. So I gratitude journal, I actually created one because people were gratitude journaling the same things all the time. Yeah. So I created one with prompts for things like, this might sound crazy, but when you get a bill, instead of thinking, oh my God, I need to find money to pay this bill, being grateful that you received that bill. Because, if you didn't have this electricity bill, you wouldn't have hot water, you wouldn't have lights in your house, you wouldn't be able to charge your phone, all these things. So when you get a bill, it's like saying, thank you to this electricity provider for providing me electricity.
Yeah.
And being grateful for that. And that attracts more abundance as well. So it gives you more resources to pay for that. So gratitude is a really powerful state to be in. And like you said, if you're grateful for things now around you, it takes the pressure off being grateful for something that you can't actually see. So being grateful now for having a home, having heating, food, a parking space, your health, all of these things, just getting into that grateful attitude and emotion puts you in the right energetic vibration for attracting more abundance as well.
I love how you have reframed the bill. I'm going to pay for my insurance sometime today, and I will remember to remind myself, thank you for covering me, because I know I can go out and do my stuff without having to worry about anything.
Exactly, because if you didn't have insurance and something happened, you'd have to pay out a lot of money.
Yes.
So, and you only pay a tiny bit. So you're like, thank you that you're going to foot the rest of the bill if anything happens.
Yes. And it's really important to remind ourselves of these small things.
Yeah. We don't live somewhere where we have to walk for water. We don't have to, strike flints to get the fire going for cooking. There's lots of things that we have that are a blessing to us, but maybe not to other people, that we forget to be grateful for. We have the NHS, we have doctors that we can visit. Maybe sometimes they're a bit busy and you have to wait a bit for an appointment, but we have that free service, and that's a blessing. People collect our rubbish every week. My goodness, can you imagine if they didn't, what we'd have in the back garden? Mountains of stuff. So these things like this we take for granted, but if we give great gratitude for them and we're grateful, it increases our energy, so it benefits us, and it also puts that gratitude out into the world, which helps the energy of the world as well.
Yeah, beautiful. Manifested money, gratitude, visualizations.
Yes.
How about the beliefs? What can we do to rein in those beliefs?
Start by believing that it's easy. And even if you don't see evidence that it is, again, like going back to what we've just said, so everything's sort of connected here. Start by giving gratitude for things that you do find very easy. And we're not very good at saying, oh, I'm good at something. We get quite embarrassed about promoting ourselves or complimenting ourselves. And some people, people don't take compliments easily either. So even if somebody's saying to you, you're very good at something, you're like, oh, I'm not really, or I like your new dress. Oh, this old thing, and you always dumb it down. Start by thinking life is easier than I thought. Business is easier. Look at the clients that you've worked with, how you've helped them. Compliment yourself. Look in the mirror and say, I love you. You're amazing. You're this powerful, wonderful being. And you have so much passion for what you do. And that's why it's easy. It's supposed to be easy. It's only difficult when we make it difficult ourselves. So we have to give gratitude for ourselves and our skills, and appreciate the fact that what we're doing is a passion or a skill or a talent that's unique to us. Nobody else has the same. So, you can't compare yourself to somebody else and say, well, she's doing better than me or she's better at that than I am. Nobody's better than you because they're completely different to you. And even if you're both the same coach, you have a different way of looking at things and a different way of communicating things and a different energy. And, people forget that it's easy in that respect, that your gifts, your talents, which what you're sharing with the world, are unique to you. And you're making them hard by fighting them or fighting against them or making it as difficult as you can because you think it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Yes. I'm currently in the process wherein I'm working on my belief that it doesn't need to be hard.
No, it doesn't. It should be easy. And we think we have to, like when we move from employment into entrepreneurship, I did it when I started. I was sat at the computer and didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I had no structure because I've been used to going to work at 7:30 in the morning, finishing at 4:30. So I had a structured time. I knew I had this and this to do. And when you're an entrepreneur, you have to do that yourself. And you also think that you have to be there for those 8 hours, but you don't. If your work is done, allow yourself to take the afternoon off. But we find it quite hard because we're like, oh, if I'm not working, it's not going to work. I have to be at my desk, at my computer for 8 hours a day, religiously, because that's what I did. And that's what I was told I had to do in order to earn money.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm not going to earn any money. And we believe that. And that's the cycle that we perpetuate.
That's the whole hustle culture, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. And we're brainwashed into that. It's quite difficult to get out of it. If you take the afternoon off, you feel guilty, but you shouldn't, because that's something that you're imposing on yourself. Nobody else is making you feel guilty for finishing at lunchtime or, being able to do all your work in half the time that you did at the office type of thing. It's just you that's thinking, oh my God, it has to be really hard. I have to work harder and more hours, like going to the night and stuff.
And then we get into that feedback loop, which doesn't help us.
Yeah, exactly. Because we're seeing that we're working all these hours and we think we have to keep doing that. We have to be hard. We have to hustle, like you say, and work harder than we did before.
Yeah.
But nobody goes to be an entrepreneur because they want to work 70 hours a week.
That's right.
Well,
that's right.
Well, you could do, I guess, if you want to, but that's not why people do it. They know that what they're doing is something that they're called to do as such. And they want more freedom and flexibility and more time with their families and more fun than they had in the office.
Yeah. And I understand that if we do all of these things, it's going to impact our energy and raise our vibration.
Yes. Yeah. So the third part again, so your energy. So the higher your vibration is. So when you've come through, you're working on your money story and you're looking at your beliefs around your business and how hard or difficult it is, and looking at the way that you show up in your business, that changes the energy that you have and it raises your energy to a higher level. And that attracts the same level back. So, if you've got a good energy, people are attracted to that. They like to be around people who are fun or full of life and happy. They don't necessarily seek out the opposite of that. So you attract more business into your business. Yeah. You feel better. You feel stronger, more powerful. You have more belief in yourself and your skills. So you're not doubting yourself all the time. And that gives better results for your clients as well, because you're not hesitating. You're not going, I don't know, maybe. You're confident in what you're offering. And again, that raises their vibration as well. And this, think of it as a ripple effect. The higher your vibration is, the more your clients feed from that. And when their vibration raises, it affects their family and their friends. And it's just one person, but the people that benefit from that are huge. It could be 30 people that benefit from them, friends, employees, or family members. They all get the benefits of a higher vibrational energy, and it changes your reality, because you're not focusing on the bad, you're focusing on the positives. So the more you're looking for the good things, the more good things you'll see.
Karen. Oh, Karen is here. Hi, Karen. Karen has a question for you, Tara.
Hi, Karen.
And she's saying, but don't you need to work harder to do all the tasks?
No. First of all, it depends on the level that you're at in your business. If you've been working for a while and maybe you've got a larger business, then of course you can outsource things, so that makes life a bit easier as well. VAs and social media and web design and things like that. When you're starting out, I presume Karen means about when she's starting out, there's going to be more work to put in up front, because there are things that you need to learn to be able to do these things. But we get really hung up on it being perfect as well. So, I created my website originally, and it was very, very basic. Don't get me wrong, it's not all singing, dancing, lighting and video shows anymore at the moment, but when I started it, it was a completely different version. But I put it up there. I didn't sit laboriously for hours and hours and hours making sure that it was perfect. Procrastination is a killer of dreams. Do what you know how to do, and as you grow, then you expand on that. And social media, showing up every day, if all you can commit to is one time a day, it doesn't matter. You're still showing up. You're still sharing your expertise. People are still seeing you and finding you and seeing that you're active and you're visible. And then it doesn't have to be a long, drawn out, hard working day. It can be as easy as you make it. And you know what you need to achieve. Don't try and find yourself extra jobs just to fill the time. One day you might do everything in 2 hours, and the next day it might take 6. But just because you've done it in 2 hours doesn't mean to say you have to stay there for the other 4. Allow yourself some time for self-care and self-love, and to regenerate and rejuvenate your energy, so you can go into the next day with a different energy and smash things out a lot easier.
Yeah.
Does that answer your question, Karen?
Karen, tell us, does it answer your question, please? I think there's a huge element of, there is a need to distinguish between how hard something feels and the number of hours we are putting into it. If we are doing something that we are good at, we enjoy doing, we might be working long hours, whatever that means to somebody, and it may still not feel so hard, because then we are doing what we enjoy, what we love, and that takes the hardship out.
It does. It makes, as we were saying, what's easy and what's difficult. If it's something you're good at or you're passionate about, then it feels easier. It shouldn't feel like it's hard work. If it does, perhaps ask your question if there's an easier way for you to do this, to find it more acceptable. I do, there's what's the word I'm looking for? There's a technique you can use to ask yourself, because it's not just the answers, it's asking the right questions. So to connect with your inner self, if you stand up with your eyes closed, for example, and just relax your body, you can ask yourself questions and get a yes or no answer. So the easiest way to start with that is to prove that it works, for example, for yourself. If you're standing with your eyes closed and you ask yourself in your head, is my name Tara? If it's true, you'll lean forward slightly. If it's not, you'll lean back. So if you said it, you'd go backwards. If I stood there and said, I'm a doctor, I would lean backwards slightly. So by doing that, and you're getting yourself things that you know the answers to, by trying it with that first, to see, to feel the movement that you get, and then ask yourself questions, is this hard because it's not the right decision? Or is there an easier way for me to do this?
Yeah.
And asking your inner you the question.
Yeah.
And I say you'll go forward if it's a yes, and you'll go back if it's a no. My daughter uses that with books as well.
Oh wow, that's so interesting.
Which book to read? She'll ask the question, and she'll be like, okay, it's that one.
Karen has a question here.
Okay.
What if you are a more serious person and your energy is about drive? Oh, I would love you to respond to this because that applies to me as well.
Your energy is what? Sorry?
Drive. For very driven people.
Oh, okay. It's still a higher energy, because if you have drive, you have more energetic feelings in your body. So it's still a matter of raising your energy. And there's no reason why serious business cannot also be fun. Something, it's got to make you smile. You've got to love what you're doing. And if you love the serious side of business, for example, let's say you're an accountant. I always pick on accountants, and I apologize if you're an accountant. If you're into that industry, then your clients aren't going to come to you and you sit down with cocktails and have a chat and make it all relaxed. It's going to be more structured and more serious. But you still got to enjoy what you're doing, and that enjoyment and that happiness is what raises your energy, and that's what attracts clients to you as well. They don't necessarily come to you because they think you're fun. They come because they feel comfortable and confident with you.
Yeah.
And you achieve that by having a higher vibrational energy, because you're comfortable and confident in what you do, and you feel happy doing it as well.
That makes sense. That makes so much sense. In fact, I'm thinking that if somebody has high drive, I would call myself one of those people. I'm not very serious. I'm not serious, but I'm pretty driven. And I'm thinking I already have that energy. I just have to tweak it a little bit and raise the vibration, and then it's going to work for me.
Well, you can do that, if you can't raise it all the time, you can do that just before a client call maybe, or just before you post something on social media, because that energy comes across into what you write or what you say and how you speak. So by raising your vibrational energy, people are receiving that through what they see from you. So, it doesn't have to be all the time, all singing, dancing and bells. It can just be at certain periods when you know that you need to put something out there that makes an impact. So raising your vibrational energy is really good. A couple of ways you can do that. You can, if you like music and dancing, that's a good way of raising your energy, by putting some music on and having a jig.
Yeah.
Because that raises you energetically, but it also raises your spirits as well. Or there's anchoring, which is it involves visualizing a scene, either imaginary or real, that makes you feel in that happy vibrational energy, and doing something to your body that anchors that feeling to that touch. So for example, for me, I touch my thumb, squeeze on my thumb. And when I do that, my brain, you have to do it a few times to anchor it, but my brain thinks, oh, now Tara wants to feel happy. And it kicks in like that. So that's also another way you can do it to raise your vibrational energy. Maybe visualizing a successful client call with a highly driven person, and that person walking away even more on purpose and filled with passion and more drive, that makes you really happy.
Yeah.
So using that visualization and anchoring it with something with a touch on your body can be something that you use to just click into that vibrational energy as well.
Wonderful, wonderful. We have got so many implementable ideas today. Thank you so much. Thank you so much,
I hope so.
Tara. So tell us, how can people work with you and experience this goodness?
Well, I do obviously law of attraction coaching, as you can imagine, to do with energies, and also shifting the way that you perceive yourself, so you understand that you have the power. Because it's quite often in business we tend to forget that we're the main focus of our business, and keeping ourselves in the right energy, in the right state of mind, and releasing some of the blocks is really important. So I have coaching. I'm actually starting my next coaching program on the 29th of September. And that's an 8-week coaching program. So I work with people to work through, for example, their money story and their beliefs and their energies, and to get them to the place where they feel good about their business and they're putting that out into their business, and that's attracting the abundance back to them, because they're attracting the right clients. It's not just attracting clients, it's attracting the right clients that you love to work with, and that makes working with them easy rather than difficult.
Okay. And when we finish, could you drop all your links just under this video, please?
Yes, of course I will. And any questions that anybody has, please put them in there. I'll go into the group and answer them as best I can.
Wonderful, wonderful. Tara, before we let you go, what is one big message you want to share with our people today?
One big message. Remember that you are the creator of your reality. So everything that you focus on, everything that you believe, is what's creating your life. So the reality that you have right now is a result of your past thoughts, beliefs, and actions. So if you want a different reality going forward, you have to start changing those beliefs, thoughts, and actions right now to create a different reality. Because the only person that controls it all the time is you. Nothing to do with external factors. It's all internal.
Beautiful. Such a powerful message to finish this conversation at. Thank you
you
so much, Tara. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your wisdom with us.
Thank you for having me. I loved it. Thank you.